Hello, my fellow Phoenicians. It is so nice to see you all here today to support a Phoenix for tomorrow. We are at a pivotal time in our city's life. We are exiting the Great Recession, and the opportunities for Phoenix are here, and we need a mayor who will lead Phoenix in the right direction. I, Kate Gallego, hope to be that next mayor. We need to give our kids a great future, and that starts with supplying them with their needs at a younger age. I plan to help aid in giving quality access to preschools to our younger generations while also working with our superintendents to get a higher college attainment rate. While I was serving on the city council, I supported the hiring of more police officers to what they were before the recession. I also worked hand in hand with other city council members to make sure that the funding was there for our extensive hiring plan. Our city is in the middle of a transformation now as we speak. When I was a city council member, my district, which is District 8, saw over 7,000 jobs added. That is more than any other city council district. We are also seeing our economy transition. We now have about 60% of our workforce working in advanced industries compared with only 45% before the recession. Phoenix is experiencing the largest wage growth in the country. We are making a strong comeback from the recession, and we will continue to do so with me as your mayor. The way I plan to help us continue to grow is by supporting the Rio Reimagined project, which was supported by John McCain. This project will bring development along the Rio Grande River, just like it did in Tempe. I also want to see more high-tech jobs come to Phoenix. We are going to lead the world in the fourth industrial revolution. I also want to see more wage growth for all of our workers, regardless of the sector. Small businesses are the core of our amazing communities, and as a mayor, I will continue to support these amazing small businesses. City Hall should be a partner and not a barrier to our small businesses. This is why I want to make sure that every city department a small business owner gets in contact with, that they have a smooth process with them. We, as a city, need to stand with our disenfranchised entrepreneurs. We should remove barriers on women and on minorities and make it just as easy for them to reach capital and business loans. When our city commissions contracted work, we should award those contracts to businesses that are based out of Phoenix. Let us put Phoenix first. We need to improve the way we get around our amazing city. I believe that a great city like Phoenix needs great roads and other transportation options. This is why I was proud to chair the Prop 104 campaign, which would bring in $31.5 billion into our streets, buses, and light rail system over the next 35 years. There is no doubt that our roads could be better, and we must do better, and we should start doing better now. That is why I want to accelerate the repair and replacement of our roads, because our neighborhoods are literally feeling the impact of bad roads. We need to improve our bus system. The light rail is not going to be able to reach everywhere. We need to make sure that we are studying our routes and making sure that they are the most efficient bus route systems. We also need to add more bus rapid transit systems in parts of our communities where it would be most efficient. We need, and I can't emphasize this enough, we need to get the South Central Light Rail line built and continue to expand other corridors to other parts of our city. Now, being in the desert, water is our most valuable resource. We need to make sure that our residents and businesses have access to clean drinking water. We cannot have what happened in Flint happen in Phoenix, Arizona. Being a city in the desert, and experiencing a massive drought, we need to start working now to make sure that in the future we will have the water to supply to the people who rely on it. We need to invest in our water infrastructure now and not later on down the road. Properly maintaining our pipes and underground water systems is essential to the wise management of our water. Letting our pipes go without service could lead to leaks, which would hurt our water supply. We can't afford to make those mistakes or put off that maintenance for later on down the road. It is a serious issue and should be taken so. I want my little son to be able to live here for years and years to come, and when he can settle down with his family. To do that, we need to make sure that we have clean air and water for our future generations. This is a very important issue and is something that our city should be tackling right now, especially with the harsh warning that came from the United Nations that we only have about 11 years to make serious changes. We here in Phoenix need to start working on these changes now. We need to partner with the private sector companies and universities to combat these issues. We also need to make Phoenix an electric car friendly city. I plan to do this by strengthening our electric vehicle infrastructure, and we need to further increase our solar output to offset the non-renewable energy output. We are Phoenix, for crying out loud. The sun is shining more days of the year than it is not. One of our most valuable resources is our solar energy, and we have the power to harness that and make our power grid a green power grid. And there is no doubt about it that Phoenix is getting hotter and hotter. As a mayor, I plan to tackle the urban heat island that is produced here in the city. I plan to do this by planting more trees and greenery to combat the heat. I also want more shading options implemented in our city so that walking in the summer becomes a little more bearable. As a mayor, I want to increase funding for our arts. Our arts and cultural sector brings in about $400 million in economic activity for our city. There is no doubt that our arts sector is huge and that putting more funding in that sector pays off. I want to make sure that we are a city that attracts more of the arts to our city. We as a city need an identity. When people talk about major cities in America, people hardly ever think of Phoenix. We are missing an identity, and being known for our major temperatures is not an identity that will get people to flock to our city. Investing funding in our art sectors will help with our city getting its identity. City Hall should be a partner, never a hurdle. Those trying to reside here need a partner, and that's this type of city hall that I want to bring. Our government should operate transparently and efficiently with a responsible budget. We need to be able to hold our elected officials accountable. That is why I'm glad to say I supported our ethics policy to make sure that our mayor and council members could not accept gifts from lobbyists. I was also proud to lead on a vote initiative to hold our mayor and our council accountable to a strict sexual harassment code. I will continue to work on policies that build trust between the voters and their representatives. Our city is truly in an exciting time in its life. We have real and great opportunities here. That is why I was shocked to hear that my opponent said that he would continue to be a firefighter with the city of Glendale and the mayor of Phoenix, the 5th largest city in the nation. Then, when a poll told my opponents that voters wanted a full-time mayor, he came out with a public statement saying he would be putting his firefighter career on hold. Now, I'm not bashing my opponent on being a firefighter, and I want to thank him for putting his life on the line. However, You can't make the mayor's office your second job. That is why I have vowed from the very beginning that I would be a full-time mayor. And unlike my opponent, I did not need a poll to tell me what was the right decision. If elected mayor, it would be an honor of my lifetime. And I want to thank you all for attending here today. And please fill out your early ballots if you have received them. And if you are voting on election day, make sure you get there before 7 p.m. And if you're in line before 7 p.m., you have the right to vote and you should stay. Again, vote Kate Gallego for mayor, and thank you, Phoenix.